Hello and welcome here as we're going to get a cracking game underway. Like he did say, I am of course Brycey, and I am joined by a guest commentator on the main stage, stepping up into the big leagues here. Good friend of mine, Chris Trout. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I am brilliant. You know what? This is going to be a really good game. These two teams actually were in Cologne but didn't play each other. TCM just lost out to Impact, also from Fariko. So, you know what? Who do you think is going to take this one?
I think it's going to be a very good game. Both very, very talented teams. I'm hoping my boys TCM, hopefully no bias playing in there. But
no bias, but they're your boys.
They're my boys. Try not to be biased, but I think they're probably going to take it. They've been so strong in this tournament so far. They've had some incredible hardpoint games, incredible search and destroy games. It seems to be the game mode that they excel at, so I would expect them to win that very much hands down. CTF, very, very strong at. It all comes down to those small little plays, whether they can hold their nerve or not, and whether Allstars can take it from them. I think I'm just going to have to go with TCM on this one.
That's fair enough. I mean, we've talked a lot here this weekend actually about, you know, the hype that people use, the momentum, the pump, as we have called it a few times. And TCM are kind of that team, but not in the way you usually expect. We saw Cloud earlier on. They scream, they shout, they get loud and ferocious. TCM have the same sort of momentum thing, but it's more of a negative thing. If they don't get the wins in under the belt, then they start to fail a little bit easier. If they're on, they're on. If they're not, then they just don't have a great game. The thing about TCM is I think they can take this if they can get their heads up after that last loss. All-Stars have actually had a great run through the losers bracket, so you know what? I wouldn't put it past them to take TCM out as well.
Well, TCM is very evident that they suffer a setback when they have a negative thing go against them. I watched it in Cologne myself, and the Search and Destroy, they had a few moments where things didn't quite go their way. Their head dropped. They didn't quite know what to say. They kind of quietened down a little bit. All the things were going against them, and they needed something to kind of bring them back. And it seems like in the time between there and I-Series and now, they've kind of pumped themselves up. They've gone back, reassessed what's gone wrong.
Oh, it's certainly a different TCM.
It's definitely a different TCM. They've completely reworked themselves, and they seem to have got a better plan about what they're going to be doing. And it seems they're a lot more pumped than usual. I'm hearing a lot more talk between the guys than we used to. And it seems like they've all found each other out, and they kind of are working on the same wavelength.
Well, you know what? I actually heard a little something. Speaking about their last game against Fariko Impact, I heard a compliment offhand from Killer from Fariko Impact. And he reckoned that TCM, if they attended MLG, could quite easily come top 5. So that's actually a really big compliment there, because there is this kind of EU-NA rivalry going on. So for Killer to say that, you know, that's got to pump up the boys a little bit.
It's great sportsmanship, great thing to say from a fellow colleague in the same kind of thing. But I think they could easily go to MLG. If they're on it, they're on it. If they're not, it could help them. It could hurt them even. And it's just whether they turn up and play today. Okay,
let's talk a little bit about All-Stars. Now, like I said, they've battled their way through the losers bracket, and they're now here competing against TCM on the main stage. Rush, potential MVP. This guy has been going off all event. He's been
doing fantastic this event.
You can't forget Torres, also a great player. Knifer as well. You know what? Between them three players, just so much class and talent. For me, Rush is still the big man. I watched him earlier play, and he decimated teams. So, like I said, it's going to really come down to just how this sort of all plays out between the two teams. Who's going to get them first points? Who's going to get pumped? Who wants it more?
It's exactly that. Who is the most pumped? Who is going to take the game by the scruff of the neck and ride it home, pretty much? It's going to determine this. This first game is crucial as well. It's going to set it up. It's a very different, contrasting game to Search and Destroy, but it's going to put whoever's going to win it in the driver's seat. They'll play with confidence in the Search and Destroy. It's very much down to a battle of wits, battle of nerve. Who's going to go into that game with the confidence? Who's going to hold their nerve? And Yemen's a difficult hardpoint. There are some very, very interesting hardpoint areas. Can completely change the game. You've seen teams from huge deficits come back and win. What's going to play out?
You know what? I think, like I said, it's definitely going to come down to the first little bit there. If a team gets behind, I don't think either of these are really comeback teams. I think if TCM get ahead, they'll start getting their confidence back. Like I said, that's a big loss they just suffered. All-Stars, you know what? Realistically, underdogs in this one. I still think they can do it. It's very difficult to call between these two games until that first map kicks off. You will have no idea. Basically, if you take the first map, I think they're going to win it. So whoever takes this first one is my pick for winning the entire thing.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be an interesting one. I don't know a huge amount of Fariko All-Stars. I've seen some of their games. I've seen what they can do. And they're very, very scary when they're on point. I've seen a lot of what TCM can do. I know what they are capable of. And they have very, very few weaknesses in their gameplay, other than the fact that if their heads go down, they're going to suffer. It's whether they can keep the drive going.
Definitely. It is all dependent on that momentum if they can build it up. And both teams actually coming into the lobby now. We should be underway any second for you guys. Like we said, it is TCM versus Fariko All-Stars here on the main stage, EGL TV.